Erris on Collection Day. Erris landed with a jolt in the middle of a rubble-strewn field. It was like no other place he'd been before. The sun out, but not quite shining through the atmosphere. The air thick with dirt, what he would later learn to describe as grime. As his head, then body, turned a whole 360 degrees to take in the scene laid out before him, he realized that he was surrounded by dead bodies lying exactly where they fell, some whose blood had just barely dried. Their chests were still, the life seeped out of them in rivulets of iron-scented red to be absorbed into the parched earth beneath. The field was abuzz with what seemed to be soldiers, most of whom in two different styles of fatigues. One group with cobalt blue armbands and what Hector had told them was the insignia of the Empire's army, and the other with dull gray armbands donning the symbol of the opposition. The soldiers were clearing away the corpses, carrying them on stretchers or over shoulders. There were a few people in plain clothes with crimson bands around their upper arms tending to the dead with similar bands. The resistance, then. But there were no gunshots, no fighting, no screaming or yelling. In fact, it was eerily quiet except for the sounds of murmured conversation and the movement of corpses being hoisted and placed into wagons. This was not a time for battle, but the calm between the cyclical storms. Collection Day. "Oi, you there," called a soldier in a gray uniform and sharp military cap. "Yes, you, big dark young man in the kilt," the soldier affirmed when Erris shot him, a questioning expression. "What side are you on?" the soldier asked, furrowing his brow in thought and inquisition. "I do not have a side," Erris answered, insides churning as he tried to grasp this new reality. "Well, you'd better join one. Our company is moving out after we finish up here, and we could use a few extra bodies. We have a couple of uniforms and a pistol we can assign you," he said, then added, "as long as you're not from Slumber City." "I am not from there, no." "I didn't think so. A rebel from the Resistance, then." "Not that either," Erris said as two soldiers bumped his elbow, having passed too closely with the stretcher they were carrying. "A floating pacifist, then." The soldier said, sizing Erris up, noting his fit bulk, his young yet rugged features. "What a waste," he said, under his breath, shaking his head. But instead of walking away as he'd intended, the soldier probed further. "If you don't have a side, you could join ours, as I said. Our cause is the only just cause in the war with no end." "Why would I join a side?" Erris asked, trying not to be sickened by the carnage, wondering how this soldier could chat so nonchalantly when they were surrounded by so much violent death. "If you want to eat, if you want to survive, you take a side," the soldier replied incredulously. "Otherwise, you take your chances. The rebels will slit your throat as they fight over scraps. The Empire will snuff you out on their next march. Step over your dead body, they'll leave lying in the dust." He paused. "Those bodies," he went on, motioning to the battered corpses in plain clothes strewn in the dirt, "those are the bodies that stink up the fields. No brethren to clean them up except the occasional good Samaritan or parent who happens to find them where they fell." He let that sink in for a moment, watching Erris's expression. "My job is to remove our dead soldiers from the killing fields, give them a proper burial, and direct lost men like you." He crouched and started to go through the pockets of a fallen rebel. "Do you mean recruit?" Erris asked as he swatted away a fly that buzzed near his ear. There were so many flies. The air was filled with their sickening song. "Yes, I suppose so. But for the only cause worth fighting for," the soldier said, standing, having finished his looting, lifting his head high with the statement, a practiced Pavlov's dog trick. "The only cause worth fighting for?" Erris asked. "Do you mean freedom?" "Victory," the soldier corrected with finality. "I see," was all Erris could manage to say as he started to walk away from the soldier who called after him. "You will have to take a side. Everyone does. You take a side and have a chance at survival, or you go it alone and die a certain death." "Oh, gods, oh, brother," Erris said to himself, to the spirit world, fingering the ring cell bracelet he wore as he stumbled over a woman who was looking to the sky with sightless gray eyes. I am in the battlefields.